Welcome to MotoGP Mac, where MotoGP fans come to congregate and fanboys fear to tread. Well, we got news on the horizon of brand new rubber.
We do, but Jake, you
And they're
fucking
extra large.
Yeah, and you nearly convinced me there with your opening, kid. Come here. I swear to God, you're doing fuck all else all week, only practicing that. That's just, you're like, yes, podcast, get it done. So look, before we talk about the new rubber, a couple of things. Firstly, I do want to say very much so thank you to Matt Dickens, who reminded me that I never set up the MotoGP Fantasy League, which I have now set up, and it will be in the link in the description here and going forward. So if you do want to join, very simple rules of the Fantasy League. You're not supposed to change it. You rung what you brung. Do you know what I mean? It is no point sitting down there going, the only time you can change it is like if a rider goes out for like 6 months or something. That's fair enough. Anyway, I do that with fantasy football. I normally finish last anyway, so if I can get anywhere better in MotoGP, I'm happy. Also, look, we are filming this quite early than normal. Normally we film on a Saturday or Sunday. I'm just filming on a Thursday this week. Work commitments and that is kind of leading to that. But anyway, on to the new rubber. Look, I was quite surprised to hear it. I knew there was grumblings with Michelin and their contract was up at the end of 2026. I knew all of that. But I suppose for me, it caught me a little bit by surprise in the fact that we have, how would I say, we have a big regulation change, right? And I suppose part of a regulation change, you would think that there would be some consistency within the rubber and the manufacturers and the teams kind of, how would I say, would be bedding in the 26, during 26, giving the teams an idea of the 27 rubber to kind of help development. I'm not really sure they can do that now with the Pirelli rubber.
Started 27 with the Pirelli.
Yeah, but what my point is that I thought Michelin would probably stay for another 2 or 3 years into the new regulations, because they would use in 2026, they would give the MotoGP teams a view of the 2027 tire so that they can kind of develop the bike towards it. Not really sure they can do that with the Pirellis, if you get me.
It's too fresh. It's too new.
It's too new, exactly. And I don't know maybe they might do during the 2026, they may do a Pirelli test day. I don't think they could publicize it or do it, because obviously there would be breach of contracts there and stuff like that for the I suppose within the regulations, but also the commercial agreements that would be there. So it is a surprise. It's also, look, and for me, Pirelli they have an awful lot of experience with high horsepower cars, Formula One, bikes, Superbike. You know, MotoGP is another kind of piss. And I know they're turning down the horsepower in the 2027 regulations, right? But these bikes are going to corner faster. Do you know what I mean? Tires need to be stiffer. There's a lot to fucking learn, do you know what I mean, in a relatively short time. So I just find it interesting that in the regulation change that they wouldn't keep some sort of stability with the tires to go. Saying that, as we all know, there has been a lot of grumblings between Michelin teams, Dorna, FIM, you know, so there's an awful lot of things, and like
I'll call it bad blood, but it's not good blood. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, but there's also bad publicity coming from it, right? You know, where riders going to get fucked out of it because of a tire temperature or pressure thing, right? And like realistically, no matter what happens, it looks like Michelin are the bad guys, right?
Yeah.
Where it's not actually Michelin are the bad guys; it's the teams that are the bad guys, right? Because they're the ones that setting the tires too low. It's not Michelin.
The team turned around and said, "No, it was Michelin. It was a bad tire." So it's the finger pointing bit, you know, who did what and where. Nobody wants to catch the ball.
Exactly, and I think that's kind of, for me, when I look at it, I think that's kind of part of it, is just the press isn't kind to them, and the teams look, you know, the spat there between Michelin and Aprilia really just shows it all, of where things are, with it. And the other thing, I suppose, one of the things, and I don't know, have you seen this on that side of the world, but on this side of the world, there was an almighty downpour in Jerez, Spain, this week,
No.
and the Jerez racetrack, um, realistically, I think there was like 120 liters a minute or something, or per square meter or something. That was fucking crazy. Like the pit garages were up to people's waists. The double right hander was knee height. The track is fucking destroyed from the flood. Remember, we're there in a couple of weeks' time, not 2 weeks, or like 6 or 8 weeks' time. Do you know what I mean? So a lot of damage to be repaired, but they have come out in Jerez, and they're being like, okay, we know what's going on. We're starting to work. Basically, we will be there. From April. It's on. I think it's April, so it's a couple of weeks away. But like end of April. But basically, like it's like from turn 7, 8, 11, 13, they're all fucking underwater. And like I was watching it. It's like a river running down the fucking start straight. So look, it's great work for them, and it's good that they've come out straight away. They've given people confidence.
Yeah, so they should get that done. Really, it's a track is flat. You can move a lot of dirt that way.
Yeah, but it's more the runoffs and the spectators and that. Huh?
Once the water gets drained, then you can start working and get stuff done pretty quick.
Yeah. So yeah, so look, it has been good. So look, it is. Look, it is quite good. I did forget to mention in the when we were talking about Mitchell, I believe that part of the reason why that Michelin didn't want to go through. Now, I don't fully believe this is that Dorna wanted to unify the tire supplier across all 3 classes or 4 classes.
Yeah. They want to go Moto 2, Moto 3, even electric.
Yeah, MotoGP electric. And they didn't fit in with Michelin's philosophy. They were happy to do MotoGP and Moto E, but not the other 2 classes.
It costs money to put them tires out there, and it's a thankless job. It seems to be.
Well, it is thankless, and the teams actually don't pay for the rubber. The rubber is actually sponsored. So it is.
You dirty bastards! I'm giving it to you for nothing. You're giving me shit.
Yeah, well, there's a very, very famous saying here in Ireland is that the more you give for free, the more they complain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just like, so.
We have it here is never a good deed goes unpunished.
Yeah. So, but look, it is. It for me, it's exciting. Do you know what I mean? A little bit weird, but it is exciting. That.
I'm glad because I like to buy everything. My bikes, I like to have all my bikes with tires that support racing. Like I won't buy a Bridgestone. I don't like Bridgestones, but anyway. But I'll either have Pirelli or Michelin or Dunlop, one of the 3. But now I'll just go with Pirelli.
Yeah. To be honest, I used to run Michelin's and then I moved to Dunlops.
Dunlop's a really good tire too.
I just found they heated up that a little bit quicker. It's a
yes. Metzler,
though,
is the hookup for now for getting the tire hooked up. Metzler has a tire out that I found that really heats up quick.
Yeah.
From race tire hooks up.
Yeah. Jorge Martin.
Another
Some
fucking week.
some good news on him. He's happy. He's come out there and he's like just really kind of make a statement. He's like, work in progress. Thanks for all the support. Can't wait to be back. He's obviously not going to make the next one in Argentina and the 14th to the 16th. Maybe in the Americas. But I think it's probably a bad one to come back and the Americas definitely with all the changes of directions and
the bouncing and the
yeah. And look, I think we all kind of mentioned our concerns about Aprilia before the start of the season, and Agora kind of put them all to kind of bed in a way, right? And I won't say Agora was brutal, and I won't say Agora was a diamond in the goat's ass yet. He was fucking brilliant on the day, but he has a bit more to prove. That's all I'm going to be like to put him into the class of he's going to be the next.
I'm not even saying that either.
He just needs a couple of more. And I'm not dissing him, and I'm not saying that he can't be. I just want to see a little bit more. He did.
If Raul Fernandez didn't jump up, and Bez didn't jump up, and who else ever was there didn't jump up, I might say Agura's something to look at, right? But when everybody jumps up, right, we're just doing this like the backwards. We're saying, look, it's how much did the bike jump up? And the bike, I think it made a big jump up. And everybody's saying that.
Yeah. Well, look, I suppose there's a couple of things there, right? In the sprint race, Bez made an absolute balls at the start. Just went backwards, right? From the start. Spun up on the line.
Yeah.
Backwards. Okay, fine. Did he come through the field? He didn't really. And that's the Achilles.
He did. Right, he came back from 13th to 6th.
No, that was in the race.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he went backwards towards like 17th to 18th in the sprint race.
When he fault.
Oh yeah, but my point is, and that I was going to make, is that the Achilles heel of the Aprilia is in the dogfight. Do you know what I mean? It's not such a great bike in the dogfight, following, trying to pass, getting through it. Now,
that's what I mean. In the dogfight, he went from 17th or something to 6th in the passing.
He went. No, not in the sprint race. No.
Regardless of which race it was, he charged through the field, right?
I don't think he went that far forward.
Yeah, he went to 6th. He went to 6th.
He finished 6th, but where did he start?
17th.
I don't think he was 17th.
Yeah, he went way back in that. When he hit that, when he went sideways, he went sideways at the tail end of it, almost, fishtailed sideways, and everybody blew by him. He went way back.
That was in the sprint. Yeah, that was in the. So he finished 6th in the main race, and in the sprint race, he finished 12th. And Q2.
One of them, we went up track. He was charging through, and then he went up track, and then he jumped back on again.
So where did he start from?
I know where he went back from 17th and he went up to 6th. I don't know which race it was.
That was the sprint race, and he finished 12th. That's what I'm saying to you. So he went all the way back, but he only made a few places.
I was distinct on, unless I'm losing my mind. I thought, oh my God.
So just to put it into context, right? He qualified 9th, right?
Yeah.
Bez, now this is. In the sprint race, he finished 12th. And in the main race, he finished 6th. So he didn't actually make up an awful lot of places in the race. And he went backwards to 17th. And he finished 12th. And passing in the 17th, or in the sprint race, and I'm looking at the results here, the people that he would have passed from 17th would have been Rins, Oliveira, Marini, Vinales, and Aldegar. Not a lot of competition there, really, on their performance of how they're performing on their bikes. So that's kind of my point. Is like in the dogfight, the Aprilia isn't the best bike to be on, or to come back through the grid. So, and Agora, like what I was saying with Agora, I think Agora did an outstanding job. He was definitely one of the riders of the weekend for myself, and I call that on.
Let's put it this way: it's definitely the second best bike on the grid.
Oh, it has to be. It has to be.
Not the doubt. It just seems like everybody's saying it's made a big jump, and it seems like it has.
It has. Look, they found something in the engine. They've definitely found something in the front end of it. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's because they stopped the heating problem. Heating. When you have a heating problem, boy, that really shuts your ass down.
Yeah, but they changed the philosophy of the aero as well, and I'm not sure a lot of people have understood this. Is that they've moved very much so to a Ducati-esque mid cowl, right? Side fairing. So they have the downward ducts and they have the bulging side. So look, there is a lot going on.
Not the inside. Remember, they had the inside internal pods, and then external pods like the Ducati.
So look, it is interesting for him, and like I am happy to see him. Would Jorge make the major difference? And that's kind of like when I'm thinking, okay, Iagora was fucking fast, you know. The only thing that where I would have said Martin probably would have outfoxed him is just race experience in MotoGP. Do you know what I mean? When it gets deep into the race, how does the tire last? Do you know what I mean? And this, that, and the other. But Iagora, I will admit, was very, very fast. Is he this next talent? I just don't know.
No.
And that's not because of me shitting on him, right? It's just I want to see more, right? Because what we saw with Agora
our record is very good compared to most, all right, out there, because we have been said with trepidation.
Yeah, but look, we've seen it with Iagora in Moto 2 that he's blown very hot and very cold. Do you know what I mean? And let's see. I support him 100% all the way, though. Like I sit there and I watch him and I think, I'd like to see him. I would have fucking loved it if he threw it up the inside of Pecco. I was 100% in the sprint line. I'd be like, one. Do you know what I mean? For all you people say that I'm a Pecco fan, I would be happy to see fucking someone have a go. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, so look,
I think Pecco's woes are exaggerated, and I'll tell you why. People are like, "Oh my God, they're charging." They have Marquez on the brain that he's going to go out and blow everybody away. Okay, that was a fear ages ago. If he ever got on the Ducati, they always said it's going to make races boring because he's going to just smoke everybody. Right?
Yeah.
Now here comes Pecco. Okay, he had a bad day. He had a bad day from the time his first rode over the stripes. Okay, in the first practice session. All right, he never got that down.
I would disagree with you. He had a bad day since the first day of the Thailand test. He just didn't gel with the record.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. But I was going to say during the test, I was about to say that. It's since day one. He just couldn't click with it. So once he gets down and gets that straightened out, and I believe he will, Marquez will have that fight on his hands that people don't understand. People aren't expecting now.
So like there's a couple of things about this Pecco and Mark fight that I'm really looking forward to, and I will be very honest, I am really, really, really looking forward to it. We normally see with Pecco, yes, he tends to win a couple of races at the start of the season, even though that he hasn't gelled with the bike. He didn't gel with the GP23 at the start of the season. He didn't gel with the GP24. GP25 is no different.
Yeah.
And I think if I look at it, once he gets that down and once he understands this bike, I think we're going to see the fight.
Yeah.
Marcus got onto the GP25, and I don't know, do an awful lot of people look at this, right? but Mark has lost 3 kilos of muscle.
Where'd you get that? Kind of. And I'm not contradicting you. I'm saying I'm just shocked. Where the hell did you get that?
You take a picture. You look at a picture of Mark in the test in November on thing, and you look at Mark in a test in January or in February's test. Now, I also have been told this by some journalists in BT Sports, and I actually reached out and I was like, "Are you 100% sure?" And he's like, "Yeah, he is 3 kilos later." And he didn't have 3 kilos to lose of fat. So it is 3 kilos of muscle.
There ain't much of them guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the reason that he's lost 3 kilos of muscle is that Mark realized at the first test in Barcelona that the GP25 was much easier to turn than the GP23. So he didn't need to force it. So he could be an awful lot leaner. Now you look at taking 3 kilos off a bike in weight. Take 3 kilos off a bike in weight. And the advantage.
Folks, if you ever want to know.
So, but your power to weight ratio is helped. Big time coming out of it. So there's a couple of things that people wouldn't necessarily know. Like that is a huge advantage. Mark has gone onto a bike that he's very, very comfortable on now because the bike turns.
Yeah.
Let
me correct myself. It's 2.2 pounds to a kilo. Because we have other Europeans. Somebody's not watching. It's not European.
Oh yeah. Well, us Irish do both, so it's fine. But yeah, it's so look for me when you look, there's an awful lot of stuff going on there for Mark. He's happy, the bike turns, it's fast. He is arguably on the best bike on the grid, right? Or one of the 3 best bikes on the grid, right? So he like Pecco, like Giannantonio, have no excuses. They have no excuses.
Is DG was DG injured?
Gigi is still coming back from injury. He broke or dislocated his collarbone or whatever in the supine test, if you remember.
Yeah, I know that was.
I didn't
know what it was. I thought it was his wrist or something. But
no, I think it's his collarbone or something like that. But if you remember, he stopped a couple of races before the end of the 2024 season to have shoulder surgery on the shoulder that kept popping out. So look, I wouldn't be expecting too much from Digi for a couple of races yet. Anyway, definitely.
Collarbone still bounced back too well.
Well, yeah, but look, he's had a lot of trauma on the shoulders and that, so yeah, I would expect it to take a little bit longer for him. The other thing, I suppose. KTM came out there recently as well, and it's like it's kind of, I'm not too sure what to make of it because they've taken out a full advert in an Austrian newspaper to issue a statement that the recent financial woes are sorted and telling doubters to watch us now. And I don't know. Look, I think
you haven't bought it yet, huh?
I haven't. Look, there's a lot going on. People are some of the senior leaders are stepping down. We know the creditors last week accepted the terms of a deal that they have to pay whatever it is, 548 million to clear the debts. But they still have to repay an awful lot of the money. And okay, they're allowed to restart production. And look, it is tremendous good news. But look, I
know somebody just now was talking to me the other day. He's getting rid of his Husqvarna and getting, which is a KTM, because he's getting a multi-strada just because he's, you don't want to be stuck with it.
Yeah, well, look, you know,
No parts, you know.
yeah, no parts. Yeah, look, that's kind of that's always kind of the risk, I suppose, isn't it? For me, it's probably the best time to buy a KTM, because you're probably never going to get one again. Uh,
Yeah.
New, if you're into buying your new bikes and stuff. So, sometimes when I look at it, it is an interesting one. Another,
We're getting Mac and Ducati one day, damn it.
yeah, man, they're just too expensive over here. You know, they're just so expensive. It's what do we say it
Or
was?
ATM or not? Or the maybe we'll get Aprilia.
I wouldn't mind an Aprilia. I had an RSV4 years ago. Except it kept chewing gearboxes, which was no problem with those versions.
Had an advanced spring in it that year. Remember?
Yeah.
They tried to make it so it was real light, and then the thing wasn't kicking back into the spring. That's not it.
Well, it was expensive. It was expensive.
Not broke, don't fix it. Lessons to learn. Yeah.
Yeah. It was expensive that they. Yeah. Every time there was a problem with it, fucking cracked the gearbox. You know, expensive. So it's been a weird one. The other thing, I suppose, the weather and the temperature was hot and this, but there was a lot of riders in Thailand were actually burned by their bikes, and it's probably something that's going to come up in MotoGP quite soon. Is that okay? Like Rin said that he was badly burned. Mir, there's a good few of them where like the bikes were actually red hot. The frames, everything was just fucking crazy. And I get it, but how soon is that going to become a safety issue? Like, do you know what I mean? And like I get it that Aprilia were cooking the riders, with hot air coming up from the bike, right? This now is the bike is actually cooking the riders, and like we've seen it before, all right, where riders are holding onto the handlebars and the handlebars are 100 degrees Celsius, like, do you know what I mean? And it's just one of those things, and I think there was a good few riders that were saying it. I think it was, I can't remember, it was Rins. There was like 4 or 5 when I was reading it. It was like this could actually flare up into a bigger problem. Let's just say about it. The Thai Grand Prix itself, the owners are actually saying that it could actually drop off the calendar after 2026. And I'm not really actually sure what way I feel about it, because the track is kind of like neither here nor there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't provoke the best racing. Let's just call it that way. Do you know what I mean?
It's a one-line track.
There's parts of it. Yeah, there's a good chunk of it that are one line, and I would be very honest, right? If this race was on at say 3 a.m. in the morning Irish time, I would struggle to say that I would get up for it. Do you know what I mean? I would just watch it when I wake up. I'd have it recorded. Do you know what I mean? Whereas if Assen or Catalonia or one of those was on, I would definitely get up. Do you know what I mean? And I don't know. Look, is that kind of so? Like, look, it is what it is. I guess it was. It was one of those things. Pedro Costa, I love Pedro Costa for just the way he talks.
I saw him in the interview. He was a nice kid. You know what I mean? He was funny.
Yeah, but like even he turns around, like he just turns around. And he's like, "I'm pissed off."
Yeah,
just says what he just says how he feels, and that's a kind of a Jack character that's coming out.
Yes,
do you know what I mean? And I really do think that he's going to start becoming a fan favorite, not just because of his riding skills, but of his character, how he comes in, and it kind of really reminds me of Rossi
You
and
wait and
all
see.
of.
You're gonna have hit that kid gets hit with 0.50, blood alcohol level, blah blah blah, or
Yeah.
somebody's country, like when Pecco got hit in Spain, 0.20, which is some
Yeah.
ungodly low amount. Yeah.
Yeah, which is an Irish person's natural blood level.
Yeah, you're right.
So it's like, what are they on about? It's nothing. Like,
What's your blood level? You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, but So, but look, like saying that, like when you look at like the likes of, like it was funny actually when we were talking in the group the other day, and CB put in the very close racing with Jorge and Mark in Mugello. And he's like, this is one of the races, or this is the race that'll live forever. And I'm like, yeah. Like the race that'll live forever in my mind is one of two races actually. Is Rossi versus Stoner in Laguna Seca. Like I remember
You remember that race?
Herself and her brother were sitting in the front room of the house. I was in the kitchen, and it was one of the rare times that you could watch MotoGP drinking a beer where you wouldn't be frowned upon about drinking at 1 o'clock in the day. But because it was on in the States, it was 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And I was a couple of beers in. I won't lie. And I was sitting on the edge of my seat, screaming at the TV at the two boys going, supping down the beer, and I went to work happy the next day with a hangover after watching a fucking epic race. And the second one was Rossi versus Lorenzo in Barcelona in Catalonia, where he did the pass on the last corner where everyone thought it was impossible. But I always remember when that was happening, when we were going into the last lap, one of my best buddies was sitting next to me, and I said to him, he's going to pass him in the last corner. And he said, there's not a hope that he's going to pass him. Little did he know that Rossi actually passed Stoner there the season before in the last corner. Now, he passed him early on the corner entry, not in the middle of the corner. And next minute your man passed him, he was just like, how the fuck did you guess? And I was like, Rossi's riding mentality was, okay, I'm going to try, and if I crash, well, then he's going to come with me. Do you know what I mean?
I do remember a few of them. I can't get the races down like you do, but the Bagnaia races, the Pecco races between him and Martin down to 2/100ths of a second. You know what I mean? How many times we have those? 4 or 5 of them?
Yeah, and I think
we've had really close racing the last couple of years. We've been spoiled. You're actually
I think. Look, I think it's about to happen as well, though, with Mark and Pecco. Like, let's not rule Pecco out at all, lads, because there's one thing. Pecco is a gentleman, right? Probably too nice, right? But Pecco will fucking fight you too. Do you know what I mean? And he will fight you. And he's not afraid of Mark at all. He is.
Just think of this. If you didn't have Marc Marquez there, all right, and it was Alex, and Alex would have won that race, the only thing people would be saying is that Pecco had a bad day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they wouldn't be saying Mark is the greatest thing in the world. Okay, they would have said, or Alex was the best thing in the world. They would have said Pecco had a bad day, and that's really what it boils down to. Mm-hmm. He really just had a bad day or a bad start, because he didn't. Bad days.
Yeah, it's not uncommon to see Pecco struggle in the first opening races.
I don't care what they say. He's either good. He does come out slower. He doesn't come out lightning fast like Martin, but he doesn't come out that slow. You know what I mean? He's not like, he doesn't wait till the very last, session to go fast. If he does, there's a problem.
Yeah,
know?
but like Pecco, like
Just
I
like
always like for the old people that would remember Formula One, right? Pecco is Alan Prost, the doctor or the professor, I think is his name, and he meticulously worked his way through the weekend. Never the fastest, straight out of the box. Looked at the data, learned, and built on his weekend. You had the Ayrton Senna then, literally first lap, flat out, no problem, done.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? And they were both worthy world champions. They were both fierce competitors, rivals, had a complete different approach to their racing, but still got similar or same results. So for me, I think Pecco, if I'm honest, is a little bit behind on Mark on comfort on the bike. He's
yeah.
not in his groove.
No, you could see he was shaky. It was not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But what I can say is he will find his groove.
yeah.
100%. And when he does, it'll be himself
Now, I like
Mark.
the announcers were going, "Oh, it's okay, he's fine," and he was coming in like 15th or 19th. And I'm going, "He's not fine." Okay, if
No,
he
yeah.
was 6th, he would be fine. Okay, starting out, not 19th. Okay, and he stayed there 19th, 17th, 15th. You know, it took him a long time before he even broke into the top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you know, I mean, he said then you now well, the announcers are making 2 days ago about this. They're not showing their
Yeah. Well, they're not.
problem.
Yeah. Look, I suppose it depends where the announcers are from. I remember I remember in like we have Sky Sports over here. So when I watch Formula One, obviously Sky Sports is British. It's all about the British riders, or drivers, and this that, and the other. And you're kind of like, can you be a little bit unbiased?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
do you know what I mean? And you know, vote for your driver of the day. You know, and like a fella might have taken his first race win and blown everyone away, and oh, we'll have to go with Lewis Hamilton because he's British. And you're just like, fuck off, will you? Jesus Christ Almighty! Or they're afraid or scared that if Lewis did something wrong, or one of the other Brits, they're not just picking on
I
Lewis.
already met our boy.
Who?
Um,
Simon?
yeah, Simon Crafar.
Yeah, I haven't decided to. I actually haven't subscribed to MotoGP.com. I've actually decided, like, I have BT Sports at home anyway, because I do have a young football obsessed fella who
Yeah,
most of the matches are on BT, so I have to have it anyway. So I just decided that I would just stick with that and see. Now, I will be very honest. Susie Perry, I think, is a great anchor host there, right? You probably wouldn't know her, right? Haji is just a bit of a dickhead, but he's sound. Do you know what I mean? I really enjoy Sylvain Gintoli and Michael Laverty's not commentary, but their insights into what they have. Like Mike Lav has ridden MotoGP, so has Sylvain, but they're very in tune with the more technical side of it. You know what I mean? And like you'll hear Sylvain turning around and like in his middle of the commentary, he's like, activate the tires, activate the tires, activate the tires, and like he's talking like a rider on the bike. Do you know what I mean? Like shit, I'm going out in cold tires. I need to get them heated. Do you know what I mean? And there's little things, and then Michael Laverty just had an awful lot of contacts in there, and he can show and let you understand what's actually going on inside in the paddock. So it is quite interesting. Let's just call it. And the other thing as well is that I can watch it back whenever I want to. Sometimes on MotoGP.com, you don't have that opportunity till it's over or whatnot. So yeah. So look, I chose to do this. But Simon actually has been very quiet since taking up the job. I did
I mean,
drop
you
him.
don't even hear about him on the announcements or anything. You know,
Yeah.
they're keeping it hush too. The MotoGP.com. You don't hear about it at all. His
Yeah.
name is never mentioned.
Yeah, well, look, I suppose it wouldn't, but look, I thought maybe because he was such an instrumental figure that maybe the FIM would kind of do like a series with Simon of the rules or stuff like that, or kind of what's a good pass, what's not a good pass,
Right.
kind of look like use his credibility to kind of educate people and this and the other. But the other thing I will say, it does look like the riders are copping the fuck on. Do you know what I mean?
No.
It looks like the riders are they know that if they step out of line, Simon's smart enough.
They're getting they're leery of him now.
Yeah, like look, he nailed Morbidelli very quickly. Do you know what I mean? He did nail him, deservingly so. He did nail him though. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And I think that put a message out to all the riders there that probably need to just be careful. Don't be acting the bollocks, because if you do, he's going to have you, like, you know.
Yeah. He's not going to take any shit off of anybody.
Yeah, and it's great to see, because it was well needed inside there. But it will be interesting to see.
I was surprised that Spencer didn't work out. I thought he would work out being that he's a rider and a champion and all that.
I don't know, man. It's like I don't think the motivation or the motive to be a racer changes over the course of the years. But I don't think Freddie could cope riding a standard MotoGP bike now. And what I mean by that is the amount of technology on that bike and the amount of work that the rider has to do to select this, select that, change that engine mode up and down and this, that wasn't there in his day. He got on the fucking bike and he ripped it. Do you know what I mean? That was it. You focus on going forward. Do you know what I mean? Now you're coming into a corner. Did I set my fucking rear right eye? Did I fucking do this? Did I do that? Did I do the other? Do you know what I mean? Going along and thinking, oh, I'm a little bit flat coming out of this corner, change the engine mode or fucking whatever it is. You know, like they're not dummies on the top of the bikes now. Joe just.
Yeah. But he was faster than Rain Reedy and Schwantz. He beat him every time he went on a bike.
Yeah, but look, it's different eras. Like if you put a 500cc bike against a current MotoGP bike,
both of them on same bike, same thing. They rode in the transatlantic races a couple times, and Spencer beat him every time. So did Kane Roberts Jr.
I know, but
senior, not senior, junior.
But you know what I mean. It's like it's not apples with apples when you're looking at the current MotoGP.
Current ones, no. You're still
and the other thing, right?
They're the old two strokes. They're racing against each other.
Yeah, but the other thing as well is like if you look at the rider profile and the riding style, really more so than anything else, like how it has changed. Like the lads are fucking lying down on the floor going through the corners. Like the guys in the 500s wouldn't fucking dream of getting down that low. They wouldn't. Do you know what I mean?
I'm sure they would. I think they would.
Huh?
I think they would.
It is something unbelievably difficult to change your riding style to go that low. If you've grown up throwing your ass off the side of the bike and it's your ass touching the ground first in the middle of the corner rather than your shoulder, that's a big...
They had it down to they had it down to where they were hitting their elbows at the last moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but still, like you're.
I can tell you what.
I dare you. It is a long way from your shoulder.
Casey Stoner said he got beat by Freddie Spencer. Couldn't figure out why this kid got beating him and beating him on the same exact bike on the Honda. One of those Honda days. He said, "Who the hell is that?" He says, and to Wayne Gardner, he says, "I don't know who it is." I know. He goes, "I know who it is. It's Freddie Spencer. I couldn't catch him my whole career. Don't worry about it. That guy's a freak."
Yeah, I get you. I just don't know. I just don't think. I think the riding style, even if you put Kenny Roberts in his heyday on a current MotoGP bike, I'd say
His style will be what style will be what Marquez is. That square yet slight style.
I don't say, and I don't say he wouldn't be fast, but I just think, you know, like you look at the modern day MotoGP rider or even Moto2 rider, there's zero fear.
Yeah, and the difference between Roberts and Spencer and the other guys they were against, both of them riders did that since they were little itty bitty kids. That was the advantage they had over their competition. Like Roberts did it when he was a little kid, and Spencer did it when he was a little kid, like 5 years old. He was racing.
I know, I get that, but like, I think when you look at the like,
I'll give anybody $50 if they could find that. It's Sport Rider magazine, and Casey Stoner actually wrote the article for it. By the way,
but no. But what I'm saying is like when you look at it, like you look at the interviews of all the old boys on the 500s, right, and the amount of respect that they had for the bike because they knew how much the bike could hurt them. Right?
Oh.
And you compare it to today's rider, it's like that doesn't even come into their mind.
I don't think it came into the other guy's minds either.
It fucking did. You would see them.
Not this Kenny Roberts and Spencer and Wayne Rainey and Kevin.
I know, man. When you see a fella leaving the pits and blessing themselves, you know he's fucking scared.
Yeah, but those few guys, yeah.
That's scared. Do you know what I mean? I don't care what anyone says. You see a fella leaving his pit lane or his pit box, going down the road and fucking, yeah, he's scared. You know what I mean? And they were respected. Like, look at what a 500 could do to you, right? You could be just plodding along, come out of the corner, right? Next minute you'd be on the moon.
No, I know.
You know, no warning, no fucking.
Plus, he still his whole career he did the cross, and it's you know that, right? Every time.
Yeah. And he picked his fucking box out of his hole. Yeah.
Then he'd go down the pit lane, and then he pulled his shorts out of his ass, a crack of his ass, on national television every fucking time he did it. You'd think he pulled the leathers out of his ass before he went.
Well, at least he didn't start touching his fucking crotch, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Pachi had his fucking hand up his ass. Usually, like, how much?
Well, listen, right? Have you ever ridden with a wedgie? It is the most uncomfortable thing you'll ever do with it.
Yeah.
Right. And if you don't want to ride with a
wedgie,
you're
double stitched, you know?
Yeah. And for anyone who has never ever happened to, and you're struggling to have a wedgie, just go buy a thong and walk around for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Wouldn't recommend it. Anyway. So look, I'm really looking forward. Obviously, look, we're still well, it's actually this weekend, isn't it, coming? Yeah, so it's actually so it is actually going to be Argentina this weekend coming up. We're filming Thursday, so it's the following week, but so on the 14th we will have Argentina. Is it the 14, 15, 16 or whatever it is.
If it was this weekend, it would be the 10th.
Yeah, but we're filming on the Thursday, so it's actually this night week it will be the eve of the race.
Oh, okay.
So but look, we do when our people are watching this, it is a race this weekend. So I suppose then Pit Byra, he did say that Pedro Costa is like a Michael Schumacher. And yeah, look, I think I still believe that if I'm honest, right, I think the damage has already been done with KTM. I think even though they say they're ready for a thing, they've introduced the salad box on the back of the bike. The bike is still doing the stuff it is. What Acosta said is that realistically, when you hit the brakes, the bike washes out at the back, or the rear end still lifts. They They can't stop the lifting. The only way they can stop the lifting is not to be so aggressive on the brakes. Not being so aggressive on the brakes cost them lap time, vicious circle. So realistically, like for me, KTM have probably very little time to salvage Acosta,
Yeah, and I know then that tube chassis is everything they do is breaking new ground.
Yeah.
Just as an engineer, they're breaking new ground. Everything they do, every little bit that they make, or anything, any progress is all brand spanking new that's never been done before. So it makes it that much harder.
It does. The BMW rumor hasn't really gone away. It's still lurking in the background. Like if you look at it, like the money raised, I just think a lot of damage has been done to KTM, even in development wise and planning wise. And I know it is only the first race of the season. Thailand is one of those freaky circuits as well, a little bit like Donington Park, and also how would I call it? And also Phillip Island. They're one of those out there circuits where not is always what it seems to be. It seems to be. Like for example, could Thailand be like Aragon last year? Just one of those out there edge circuits no one really could deal with, Mark. I don't know. But it's for KTM. I'm just really worried that they've missed something big. Acosta is going to get pissed off of that, and he's going to be off on the Ducati.
Yeah. He might do. I'm telling you, I have a feeling the Aprilia is made.
My doubt. My only doubt with Aprilia is, right, Aprilia are very loyal to the riders, and if Martin and Bezzecchi even do a half decent job this year, they'll keep them. Do you know what I mean? Now, saying that, right? Look, he could technically go to, Trackhouse Racing, on Works Equipment. I'm sure they'd be happy to take him. So definitely going to be interesting.
And if it is the manager, I would go as a manager. I would think that Trackhouse pulls in extra, being who they are, who they're associated with. They're associated with the NASCAR, and they're associated with the new people coming in, the buyers of Dorna. It gives you extra PR value, okay, for the rider. So I wouldn't be that leery of putting them in a Trackhouse setup.
Yeah. Look, it all depends. Like what it all depends on is what equipment is he going to get, right? And like it's kind of like Agura kind of said, I hope Honda doesn't hold a grudge. And we know Honda holds a fucking grudge big time. Just ask fucking Valentino Rossi. Right? So
why would you worry if Honda holds a grudge though?
Because he's Japanese, right? And at the end of the day, he still probably does dream about riding a Honda at some stage, or finishing his career having ridden a Honda, right?
Okay.
However wild or mad that accusation or that dream may be, it is one of those things, and you can get it. Like you can understand it. The Italians want to ride a Ducati. Do you know what I mean? Or it's everyone's dream.
See, that's beyond me. I would think I'd want to ride it. If I was Italian, I'd want to ride a Ducati if it was good. If it was bad, I would want to ride it.
But there's a lot of people out there, Jake. Like for instance, right, a lot of Formula One drivers, right. Even if Ferrari was doing shit, they want to say that they were a Ferrari driver.
Oh, okay.
It's part of legacy of their thing, of the brand, of the whatever. So it is one of those things. But anyway, I suppose on that bombshell, I suppose we'll wrap it up there for today. I suppose we'll do race winner Argentina. Who's it going to be? Actually, Sunday race winner, not
Sunday race. You got to go with Christ, he came out so strong. You have to go with Marquez. That's
You
like
would have to go with Marquez. To be fair, you'd have to go with Marquez. So I'll go with Pecco.
I knew you would do that.
Yeah. Well, you can go with Marquez. I'll go with Pecco. Look, listen.
You got to give a top three. Then I'm going to go Marquez, Pecco, and the third one's a rough one. Throw some names at me. Why don't we go with the rookie? Yeah.
Ayagura?
Let's go with the Aragora kid.
All right, I'm going to go with Pecco, Marquez, and Bezzecchi.
Is that, yeah, okay. After putting him down through all the work he did, you're picking him.
That's a very Irish thing to do, kid. You know what I mean? Yeah, because he's listening now and he's going, right, I'll show that fucker over there. Yeah, that fat cunt. I'll show him. Yeah, so anyway, on that bombshell, do leave in the comments below who you think. And also, don't forget to join the Fantasy League.
Yes.
But don't change your riders unless someone goes a con for 6 months.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Jake won't do it. It's about it's out. Yeah. Anyway, ready up. We will see you all again next week after the race. CB will hopefully also be back.
Yes.
He's
another guy coming in, friend of mine. So knows his stuff.
Great stuff. That's super. Righty up. We'll see everyone again next week.